I know you've been there before. You've been in that conversation where the people just keep talking about something and you are just sitting there nodding your head, you're smiling because it's much easier to do that than it is to interject or voice your own opinion or try to even slightly disagree with the conversation going on. And what you're doing there is you're becoming this character that is not exactly you. You're having trouble being authentic because sometimes being inauthentic just makes things a whole lot easier. Or maybe you don't quite know who you actually are. And while that can be really discouraging, there are ways to recuperate from that. And I'm going to share with you my journaling techniques that I'm using to help me become a more authentic person. So let's start off with number one, which is to keep a notebook lying around and write about how you feel during certain moments. Are you tense? Are you relaxed? Is your laugh or smile something that is real, or is it something that is fake? For example, right now, while talking to the camera, even though I've been making YouTube videos for a very long time, I feel a lot of tension in my chest, and it causes me to take a lot of big breaths like that in between my cuts. So I note that, and I try to work on that each and every single time that I work on the video. But then think about the moments that you feel really good about things going on in life. Note that as well, because what you're going to do is end up with this list of times where you don't feel very authentic versus times that you do feel authentic. And that's going to essentially create a roadmap for you to help you determine where you feel most you, where you don't, and then we'll get into later how you can fix those little things so that you can feel like you all the time. Step number two, pick a top 3 list of values that are most important to you. And these values can be anything. But one thing that I think that really helped me was to pull up just a big old list of values that are broken up into different categories and really go through and look at them and pay attention to what they mean. And you will find the ones that resonate pretty well with you that you either need to improve on, you want more of, or you feel like you just need to have in your life altogether. Number 3, and this is an interesting one, it is to write down 3 instances where you mask yourself. So think about 3 different people that you hang out with that you know that you act differently around each of these 3 people. Hey, so it's future editing Chad here, and I just want to say I didn't do the best job at this next section. So in a nutshell, here's what I wanted to let you know. So you pick out 3 people that you know that you act differently around. This could be your boss at work, this could be your spouse at home, and this could be one of your best friends. What are parts of us that we mask? And you could include things at work. Maybe you have to wear a uniform and you don't get to express yourself in your clothing. Maybe it's you have to repress certain adjectives that you want to say. But write those things down, because what we're looking for is areas where we're masking ourselves for these different people and figuring out ways that we can stop doing that if at all possible and when at all possible. Now, before we move on to number 4, I want to tell you a quote or a phrase, something just to keep in your mind, and that is that inauthenticity often comes from people pleasing. So number 4 is the next time that someone asks you to do something that you don't want to do, simply say something along the lines of, I really appreciate the offer, but not this time. Don't start making up excuses like you've got to clean out the litter box, or you're going to wash your car, or you was really looking forward to eating a box of pizza rolls. Don't make excuses. Just simply state you're not interested, but thanks. And honestly, that might sound very simple, but it is pretty tough in theory, especially if you're somebody that likes to people please. Number 5, a low stakes opinion. So think back to the start of this video when we're talking about nodding our head and grinning because we're just agreeing because that's easier. Well, if you're involved in a conversation and everybody's mostly in agreement, but you're not, like, don't just agree to agree and just conform into that group. Voice your opinion. Number 6, admit to micro failures. So if you break something, oh, I broke it. Okay, clean up the mess and move on. You don't have to stay focused on that particular situation or try to throw it off as something else. Say this is a mistake of something that happens at work, rather than trying to blame other people or get out of the situation or think that people are just going to dislike you forever because you did something wrong. Just simply own up to it, fix the problem the best you can, and move on with your life. Number 7, review what you are consuming. Are you consuming things because that's the cool thing to do? That's what's trendy? You are influenced to do it? Or are you doing those things because you're generally interested? But the thing that we don't have to do is continue to consume things just because we think it's cool. We should only be consuming what we really honestly enjoy. And number 8, and the final thing, is to pay attention to that inner monologue. Think about something that you're about to say. Are you about to say something just because you think it makes you sound cool or look cool in this group of people? Or is it something that holds truth and really resonates well with you? For example, you see somebody in public, they're wearing a cool t-shirt, maybe it's from a TV show you like, compliment them, say, hey, that's a really cool t-shirt, I like that. On the counter side of that, think about how many times people have been talking about a conversation, maybe it's about cars, and you could care less about cars, and somebody asks you what you think. And then all of a sudden you make that comment like, yeah, I really like this particular car here and this, and then they start asking the really niche specific details, and you've realized, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? I have no idea what I'm talking about. So think about that inner monologue. What are you saying about these things, and why are you saying it? And then most importantly of all, what are you saying about yourself? Do you think you are cool because of the things you enjoy? Or do you sometimes not enjoy the things that you think are cool because of what other people are saying, or they're not even saying, because you've got this inner monologue that's telling you, hey, if you go listen to this music and you let people know, they're going to not think you're cool. So if you're like me and you're trying to pursue a more authentic version of you, then try these journaling techniques out. I'm going to keep this journal around me, and I'm doing all of these things. I'm going to constantly be writing about each of these steps to try to figure out how I can feel like I am more me in my everyday life. Because honestly, when I'm sitting here by myself sometimes, I still don't even feel like I'm 100% me when I'm alone. There's a couple of friends that I hang out with that I think bring out more of that real authentic self. But I want to know how to do that on my own. But now here's where I would love to hear from you. Please comment in the comment section below areas that you struggle with your authenticity. And if any of these steps are things you think are going to help you or just resonated really well. Because we're all in this stuff together. We're just trying to figure out life. And here, let me just tell you something. No matter where you are in your journey right now, it's okay. And I wish you the best.